Hello again. We are in Chapter 4 for Business Math, which is called Checking Accounts. This is Lesson 3.4, Check Registers. So we learned about making deposits in Section 1. Section 2 is about writing checks. And now we're going to learn about check registers, keeping track of our checks. Make sure you're reading through the chapter, each lesson, and looking at the examples, taking a look at any of the formulas they give you. Don't just jump over into the worksheets and hope that you have everything you need. A lot of the business math concepts, we need to know some of the background, a lot of the vocabulary and the concepts to apply over here. All right. So that being said, let's go ahead and read the summary here. Boop, boop, boop. So use a check register to keep a record of the deposits you make and the checks that you write. The balance is the amount of money in your account. You add the deposits to the balance. Then you write a check. You subtract the amount of the check from the previous balance. Sorry, don't know why I said previous balance, just from the balance. I'm adding extra words in there. All right, so they give us two formulas here. So we have new balance equals previous balance minus a check amount, or new balance equals previous balance plus a deposit amount. So can both of these things happen? Yeah, you can have a check hit your bank account, and I say it that way because you write a check and then you send it off. It doesn't immediately leave your bank account. It takes time to get to that person, for them to take it to the bank, for it to be processed. So it does take a little bit of time. You want to keep track of those checks so you know this money is gone, still sitting here, but it's gone. I don't have it anymore. I've sent it off. I'm just waiting for it to be taken at this point. So that's why you want to make sure you know when you write a check. But you could also make a deposit the same day that the check is finally processed. So these two things could happen at the same time. They really could. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at number 1 here. We have Gustava Valdez. Yeah, I think that's still valid. Opened a new checking account by depositing her paycheck for $347.95. The check register shows her transaction since opening her account. What should her new balance be? All right. So she opened the new checking account. Can I undo on this page? I don't know why I can't undo. That's weird. I didn't mean to cross that off. I meant to underline it. I just have my little board sideways again here. All right. So opened a new checking account by depositing her paycheck. So this was her opening balance. So we simply just want to write her opening balance, and I'm going to make my pen a little bit smaller here so that I can actually write in this little area. So 347.95. So 347.95 cents. And now we want to make sure we're looking at what happened since then. So then, and it doesn't tell us exactly what date she did this on. It's not really a big deal for right now. But then on the 7th of January, she wrote a check to the auto clinic for $102.14. So we're going to subtract this. This is a check she wrote. So we're going to subtract. And we subtract that from the previous balance here. So whatever's happening, you subtract this column, you add this column from the previous balance, and then you write in your new balance. So if we subtract $102.14 from $347.95, we get $245.81. All right, same thing. We're going to do the same thing the next check. We're going to subtract this Hessing Builders check that she wrote for $67.70. If there was a deposit, we would also add that to this balance here, and then we would have $178.11. So this is the amount in her account as of right now. It's one of this is definitely a big real world topic. We should always be keeping a check registry. Once we have a checking account and we're writing checks and things are going back and forth, we should always know the amount of money that will be in our account. Remember, what's in your account doesn't mean that's what you actually have. If you've written checks, that money is gone. You have to take that into account and not just look at the balance and go, oh, look, I have a lot of money still in my account. You have to make sure you remember, oh, nope, I've written checks. that money is not going to be there anymore. Same thing when you start paying bills, right? You have to make sure that you plan ahead for that upcoming bill. All right, enough of the silly lecture there. All right, so going down the rest of this lesson, you're doing the same thing. You're just filling in the amounts. So they're giving them to you on number 2, same way they did on number 1 here. They have them written in here. You just have to write in the balance that they give you up here, and then subtract the check amounts. We're not ATM deposit. Oh, that's interesting. They put deposit in the check amount. So this one should probably be in that column. So this should be over here. I didn't realize that before. I did the addition, and I just wasn't paying attention to it being in the wrong column. So these two are definitely checks, but this says ATM deposit. So that should be in the deposit column. It should not be right there. So that's one that's it is a little bit weird. Make sure you add that deposit. Don't subtract that. And then down below, they don't fill in anything for you. You have to fill in the whole thing. So you're going to put in the check numbers, the date, what it's for. Is it a check? Is it a deposit? Make sure you put it in the right column. And then you'll write in your checkbook balance. So they told you what your checkbook balance was as of September 3rd. So they don't ask you to write all that in for the balance. You just write it in, $492 and 16 cents. And then you write in the rest for each one. They tell you on the 5th, September 5th, you wrote check number 442 for this amount, and it's payable to Lenny's Deli. All right, so you fill this out, subtract that check from the balance, write a new balance in. And you're just going line by line on that one. So not too terribly crazy for this one. So I'll let you go ahead and finish this one up, and I hope that helped. I will see you in section 4.